Welcome students. Let's continue with the group 17 elements which are also called as halogens, where halo is a Greek word which means sea salt and gens means born. Okay, so it means that the elements which produces salts. Okay, halogen, halogen. So here the halogen stand for halo, that means sea salt in the Greek language, and gens means born. So we can say that it means that the elements which produces produces salts are called are halogens. Now let's see what are the elements which are included in the halogen series. Okay, so here we will discuss about the elements and all their different physical properties also. So the atomic and their molecular properties will be discussed out in the same table only. Okay, so for fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and last is the S10T. These are the 5 elements which are included in our halogen group. So first is the atomic number. So fluorine, the atomic number is 9. Chlorine, it is 17 plus 8 plus 18. It is 35 for bromine plus 18, that is it will be 53 for iodine, and for S10 it is 32, that is plus 32, it is 85. The atomic mass, if I am going to tell about the atomic mass, then here fluorine is having atomic mass of 19, chlorine is having 35.5, bromine is having 79.0, and it is nearly considered as 80 also, while iodine is having 126.90. It is also considered as 127, and S10 has 210 as atomic mass. Next is the covalent radius for fluorine. Covalent radius, that is calculated in picometers. So for fluorine it is 64, for chlorine it is 99, for bromine it is 114, for iodine it is 133, and for S10 it has not been discovered out. Next is the ionic radius, that is also in picometers. For fluorine it is 133, for chlorine it is 184, for bromine it is 196, and for iodine it is 220. For S10 it is unknown. Now next is the ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy. So as we know that the halogens are one of the most electronegative elements. They are the one of the most electronegative elements, and due to this reason they are having the highest ionization enthalpy. Okay, in their corresponding groups they are possessing the highest ionization enthalpies in their corresponding groups. That is, fluorine is possessing 1680 kilojoule per mole. It is calculated in, it is considered in kilojoule per mole. So for fluorine it is 1680. For chlorine it is lower than that of the fluorine, that is 1256. Then for bromine it is 142, and for iodine it is the lowest, that is 1008. So it follows the rule that on going down in the group the ionization enthalpy decreases out. So we are seeing here that on going down in the group, gradually the ionization enthalpy is decreasing from 1680 to 1008 at iodine. Next is the electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. It is also considered in kilojoule per mole. Here you will see that the electron gain enthalpy for chlorine and fluorine is in negative, that is minus 333 and minus 349. Okay, next for bromine it is also minus 325, and for iodine it is minus 296. So we will discuss about this abnormal behavior, that the fluorine is having higher ionization enthalpy, and while the iodine is having lowest ionization enthalpy. Okay, as we know that on going down in the group, the rule was there that the ionization enthalpy will increase, but here it is seen that the ionization enthalpy on going down in the group is decreasing out. Sorry, it is increasing out here only because we are having the negative values. Okay, it is having negative values, so it is increasing out here. But here is a small change in chlorine and bromine. There is a small anomalous behavior here, that the chlorine is having the highest ionization and electron gain enthalpy than that of the fluorine. Okay, it is having more value as comparison to that of the bromine and fluorine. Okay, let's move further and let's talk about individually for each of the properties and how they are having the trends for the halogen groups. So first is the atomic radius, atomic and the ionic radius. So for atomic and ionic radius, halogens are the smallest atomic radii in their respective periods. Okay, they are having the smallest atomic radii in their respective periods, because they are the last group. Okay, they are the last group in their periods. And the reason for having the smallest radii, atomic radii, is the reason is very high nuclear charge. Okay, very high nuclear charge, due to the which reason the atom shrinks out here, and the halogens are having the smallest atomic radii. But on going down in the group, we will see that the atomic radius is increasing out. Okay, on going down in the group, we can observe that the atomic radii is increasing here. From 64 it is 99, then 114, then 133. Similarly, the ionic radii will also increase out here. 133, which is smallest in its period for fluorine. 184, which is smallest in its period for chlorine, but it is larger than that of the fluorine. Okay, 196, which is larger than that of the chlorine, but it is smallest in its own respective period. And 220, which is smallest in its own period, but it is larger than as comparison to that of the bromine here. Okay, so on going down in the group, the atomic radii is increasing, but that particular atomic radii is very smaller as comparison to that of the atomic radii for other elements which are present in their own respective groups there. Also, the radii of the halide ions. Okay, we can observe here that the radii for ionic halides, it is larger than their corresponding parent atoms. Okay, their corresponding parent halogen atoms. Next is the trend for ionization enthalpy. Okay, ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy. So for ionization enthalpy, the trend here is that the ionization enthalpy of halogen are very high. Okay, it is the highest, it possesses the highest ionization enthalpy if considered in the group. Okay, each respective group considered in their respective groups, they are possessing the highest ionization enthalpies. And the reason is that they have the lowest tendency to lose electron, as if I am seeing the electronic configuration, the general electronic configuration here, it is ns2np5. It means that the p orbital, the p suborbital of halogens it is possessing 5 electrons and 1 electron is left there to complete the 6 electrons in the p shell. So hence here it can easily accept 1 electron as comparison to lose the 5 electrons here, okay, from the p shell, and therefore due to this reason it is possessing the highest ionization enthalpy, because if he has to lose, then he has to lose the 7 electrons there from its outermost shell, okay. And due to this reason, what will happen, we will see that the ionization enthalpy in the halogens, it is highest. But as going down in the group, okay, as going down in the group, due to atomic size increase, we will see that the ionization enthalpy is gradually decreasing, and we will see that the iodine, it is having the lowest ionization enthalpy in the group, that is 1008 kilojoule per mole, which is lowest in the group, while we will see that fluorine is having 1680 kilojoules per mole for the group that is highest. Okay, so on going down in the group, due to increase in the size, due to increase in the atomic size, the ionization enthalpy decreases out there. Also, the screening effect is also present there in the iodine, and due to this reason the ionization enthalpy is also decreased out there. Next is the electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. So electron gain enthalpy, that is the energy required to add the electron in their outermost shell. So here we will see that all these have the maximum negative electron gain enthalpies in their respective periods. Okay, they possess maximum negative electron gain enthalpies, negative electron gain enthalpies in their respective periods. Means they can easily add one electron, okay, they can easily add one electron as comparison to the other elements which are present in their respective periods. In general, the electron gain enthalpy becomes less from top to bottom in the group, okay, as due to increase in size it is much more harder than to add the atom, okay, add the atom in the outermost shell there, okay. So with increase in size, we will see that the electron gain enthalpy has been decreasing out there, okay. Here fluorine has unexpectedly, here we will see that fluorine is having lower electron gain enthalpy as comparison to that of the chlorine atom, and due to this reason the chlorine is the having the highest, okay, it is having the highest electron gain enthalpy as comparison to that of the all other atoms which are present in this particular group, okay. We will see that the chlorine is having the highest electron gain enthalpy, and the bromine and iodine will also be having the lowest electron gain enthalpy as comparison to that of the chlorine. The reason here is that the fluorine is one of the smallest element, okay. Fluorine is one of the smallest element of the periodic table, and due to this reason the electron gain enthalpy in fluorine, it is very high, it is much higher than that of the chlorine, okay. And also, as there are strong inter-electronic repulsion in the relative small 2p subshell of the fluorine here, okay. Here there will be a strong repulsion, okay. Which repulsion? Inter-electronic repulsion will be there between the subshells of the p subshell, 2p subshell of the fluorine, and due to this reason what happens, the incoming electron does not feel much attraction as comparison to that of the chlorine atom, while in case of chlorine it will easily enter the outermost shell there, but in fluorine it feels some of the repulsion there, and due to this reason it has a higher atomic electron gain enthalpy, that is minus 333, and while chlorine it is having only minus 320, 349, the lowest electron gain enthalpy in the whole group there, okay. And the highest, that is iodine, it is having minus 249, okay, which is the highest one. No, I think so it is not 249, it is 296, sorry, 296, it is the highest electron gain enthalpy which is possessed by iodine in the group. Okay, so hence we have concluded here that the chlorine is having the highest electron gain enthalpy, negative electron gain enthalpy, while the iodine is having the lowest. Next is the electronegativity. So naturally we know that fluorine is one of the most electronegative element of the periodic table. Fluorine is the most electronegative element of periodic table. Okay, it is the most electronegative element of periodic table, and it is having the most non-metallic character also. Okay, it is having the most non-metallic character, but of due to presence of very if we are comparing the metallic and non-metallic character for the halogens, so we will see here that due to position of very high values of ionization enthalpy, all the halogens, even iodine also, okay, even iodine also, they are having highly non-metallic character, highly non-metallic character. What are the general characteristic colors for the flames? Okay, or for the flames, or for the color of the halogen atoms. So fluorine, it is possessing light yellow color, okay, pale yellow or yellow color. Next, for chlorine, it is greenish yellow color, greenish yellow color. For bromine, it is reddish brown color, reddish brown color. And iodine, which is one of the liquid, okay, which is one of the liquid in the group, it is having dark violet colored liquid, okay, dark violet colored liquid. Next is the oxidation state, the oxidation state. So the oxidation state for fluorine, it can be only -1. No other oxidation state is being represented by the fluorine here. But chlorine, it can represent the oxidation state from -1, +1, +3, +5, and +7. In case of bromine, it can possess -1, +1, +3, +5, and +7, as same as that of your chlorine only. Iodine also the same, -1, +1, +3, +5, and +7. So these are the oxidation state trend for the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Now let's see the chemical reactiveness or chemical trends for the halogen atoms. How they are having the chemical properties, what are their chemical properties. So chemical properties. First is the low dissociation enthalpies. Low dissociation enthalpies. Okay, all the halogen possess lowest, okay, very low dissociation enthalpy, and hence they can readily dissociate into atoms and react with other substances as readily as possible. Okay, so what is the dissociation energy? F2, it is having the dissociation energy of 158.8 kJ per mole. Okay, for Cl2 it is 242.6. For Br2 it is more lowest, that is 192.8. For I2 it is 151.1. While if compared with hydrogen, which is 458, oxygen, that is 495, and nitrogen, that is 941. So we can easily compare that the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine, they are having the lowest, very low dissociation enthalpies, and due to this reason, what happens? their reactiveness also increases. They can easily dissociate here and their reactiveness increases out here. They have high negative electron gain enthalpy. They possess high electron gain enthalpy. Due to this reason, they have very strong tendency to gain electron, and hence halogens are very reactive elements due to this. Also due to their low dissociation energy and high negative electron gain enthalpy, we can say that they are one of the most reactive elements. Okay, reactive elements of the periodic table. And why is the reason? The reason is that the halide bonds, okay, the dihalide bonds which are present here, they are very lower. Okay, for example, for fluorine, it is only 158.8. Okay, so fluorine will readily react, and it is one of the most reactive elements of the periodic table. And the reason is that the FF bond is very weak here. It readily breaks out in very low energy also, and hence we will see that fluorine is one of the most reactive elements, and due to presence of high electron gain enthalpy, it will readily react with any of the elements which are present near. Okay, now seeing the reactivity and oxidizing power of halogen. So reactivity of halogen act as all the halogens, okay, all the halogens, they act as powerful oxidizing agent. Halogens are powerful oxidizing agent. They are powerful oxidizing agents. It means that if we are reacting halogens, then it will readily reduce the elements present in there further, and they themselves will get oxidized out. Okay, for example, here you can see I am taking the example here. Fluorine can easily oxidize the other halogens there. Okay, it can easily oxidize the other halogens there. While chlorine also has the same property, it can easily oxidize the halogens which are present below it. Okay, and similarly, the bromine can also iodize the iodine. Okay, but the higher elements cannot be oxidized by the lower halogens. Okay, the reason is that they have the highest electron gain enthalpy, and this reason, they easily oxidize the elements which are present in front of them. Now if I am going to talk about the electron, that is the electrode potential. Okay, but that is oxidizing electrode potential, oxidation potential here, reduction potential here. So here we will see that the reduction potential for the dihalides, okay, if I am denoting the reduction potential by E naught, then it is decreasing out here with the increasing atomic size. That is, difluorine is having 2.87 electron reducing potential, while the chlorine is having 1.36, Br2 is having 1.09, I2 is having 0.54, and astatine, it is having minus 0.3. So hence we will say that F2 is one of the strongest oxidizing agent, while I2 is the weakest oxidizing agent in this particular group. Now let's see the physical properties for the halogens. These were some of the trends for the halogens in the periodic table. Now let's see the physical properties. First is the physical state. Physical state. Okay. For also, okay, that is for physical properties for, okay, sorry. Before physical properties, let me define you that we are talking about the hydrogen halides. Okay, we are talking about the compounds of hydrogen. Okay, we are talking about the compounds of hydrogen halides. Hydrogen halides. And in hydrogen halides, we are going to first talk about their physical properties. So the first physical property which we are going to discuss here is the physical state. Their physical state. Physical state. So the physical state. Hydrogen fluoride is a very low boiling liquid. Okay, if we are talking about HF, it is low boiling liquid. It is a liquid and it is having very low boiling temperature, that is 292 Kelvin only. The boiling point for hydrogen fluoride is 292 Kelvin. While we will see that HCl, HBr and HI, they all are gases. Okay, they all are gases. The anomalous property for hydrogen fluoride here is that they possess hydrogen bonds. Okay, and due to presence of hydrogen bond between the molecules of the HF here, what happens? The molecular force is stronger there, and due to this reason they are possessed, um, they are present in the form of liquid there. Okay, let's see next, melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point. So melting point and boiling point, if I am talking about the melting point and boiling point, we will see that the hydrogen fluoride, it is having the uh, highest boiling point, that is 293 Kelvin. Okay, and due to extensive intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the other halides show negligibly hydrogen bond. Okay, they does not show that much of hydrogen bonding that is shown in the HF, and due to this reason we will see that the boiling point for HF, it is 293 Kelvin, while we will see that the HCl, HBr are having the lower boiling point as comparison to that of the HCl. Okay, they are having lower boiling point, and the reason is that the presence of hydrogen bond. Okay, so the hydrogen bond here is possessed something like this. The reason for hydrogen bond here is like this. The structure for hydrogen fluoride possessing the hydrogen bond, it is like this, and the angle here it forms is 140 degree. Okay, next is the nature of the bond. Nature of bond. All hydrides of halogens are covalent compounds. They all are covalent compounds, and this indicates that they have low melting. Okay, covalent compounds, but they have some of the ionic character there due to presence of high electronegative element, that is halogens there. Okay, they possess some of the ionic nature there, and due to this reason they have low melting and boiling point of the hydrogen halides, and also the fact that the compound is in pure state are poor conductor of electricity. They are poor conductor of electricity due to presence of high covalent nature. Okay, and hence we can say that the HF is having lower electronegativity. Okay, the HCl is having lower electronegativity as comparison to that of HF, and the HI is having the most lowest electronegativity in the particular group there. Next is the bond length and bond dissociation enthalpy. Bond length and bond dissociation enthalpy. So the bond length for HF, it is 91.7 picometer. For HCl, it is 127.4 picometers. For HBr, it is 141.4 picometers. For Hi it is 160.9 picometer. Okay, so we are observing here that the hydrogen iodide is having the largest bond length, and the HF is having the smallest bond length here, and due to this reason also they are liquid in nature. Okay, they are liquid in nature. Thermal stability, the thermal stability of hydride decreases from HF to Hi. Okay, it decreases readily from HF to Hi. HIF is more thermally stable as comparison to that of the iodine here. Okay, so it is just opposite to that of the bond length only. The more the bond length, the lower the thermal stability will be there. Okay, so it means that the hydrogen iodide is the most less thermally stable, while the hydrogen fluoride is the highest thermally stable. Next is the reducing property. Okay, so reducing nature, reducing character. HF has the lowest reducing character, while the HI is possessing the highest reducing character. Okay, it possesses the highest reducing character. Next is the acidic strength. The acidic strength also decreases. Okay, it also decreases in the same order only, that the HI is having the highest acidic character as comparison to HBr, as comparison to HCl and the HF. It means that the HF is the weak acid. Okay, it is the weakest acid in the group, while HI is the strongest acid in the group. Okay, it is the strongest acid in the group. Now let's see the reaction of halogens with oxygen. Reaction of halogen with oxygen. So oxygen fluoride, okay, oxygen difluoride is one of the compounds which are known as the special compounds. Okay, they are known as the special compounds, and here oxygen is acting as an electropositive element. Okay, because the fluorine is one of the most electronegative element of the group of the periodic table. So we will see that oxygen will be forming, and it will be acting as a central atom for the OF2, and it will be acting as a positive ion here, and 141 picometer is the bond length here, and the angle here it will be 105 degree. It is just same that of the water only. Okay, here the fluorine is been replaced by hydrogen only, and the angle is also, you can see that it is very much near to that of the water only. Water's angle is it is only 104.5, and here we can see that the fluorine is also having 105-degree angle. The reason is that the hydrogen size and fluorine size is almost equal. There is not that much of difference, and due to this reason we will see that they are having this kind of nature. Also O2F2 is also possible. O2F2 is also possible, where peroxide bond is there and fluorine is there. Okay, so here the in the peroxide bond, the oxygen's peroxide is having the bond length of 122 picometers, while the oxygen and fluorine bond is having 158 picometer length. Okay. Next, the next type of oxygen compounds which can be formed with the fluorine, chlorine, and bromine. I am making a table here to make it more easy for you to remember it. So here, if I am talking about the -1, then fluorine can form OF2. Okay. Next, chlorine, bromine, and iodine does not form oxygen bond with in the -2 state. While in +1 state, chlorine forms Cl2O and bromines form Br2. The reason is that the oxygen is present above in the group as comparison to that of the chlorine and bromine, and due to this reason we will see that chlorine will be acting as a more electropositive element as comparison to that of the electronegative oxygen here, and they will form and they will act as electropositive element here. Okay, +2 state is possible for oxygen in case of fluorine here, because here they can form O2F2, but other elements does not form any compound in this particular series. Next is the +4 state, where chlorine will form ClO2 Br will form BrO2 and iodine will form I2O4. Next is the plus 5 state. There iodine can form iodine pentoxide. Iodine pentoxide. Okay. Next is the plus 6. So here chlorine can form Cl2O6, BrO3, that is trioxide. Okay. But iodine does not form any trioxides. And plus 7, in the plus 7 oxidation state, chlorine can form Cl2O7. Br cannot form the heptoxide compound, but I2 can form a heptoxide compound, that is I2O7. So these are some of the compounds, that is compounds with oxygen for that of the oxygen compounds with the halogens here. And the reactivity here, it decreases as we go in like this. Okay, it means that iodine is more reactive with oxygen as comparison to that of chlorine, and it is chlorine is more reactive as comparison to that of the bromine here with oxygen. Next is the reactivity towards metal of the halogens. Okay, so halogens react with metals to form metal halides, and they readily forms, here we will see that the metals ionic character. Okay, the ionic character of the compounds which is formed by metals for the here the first thing is to notable, which is notable here, is that metals are generally electropositive, and fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, that are halogens, are having electronegative nature, highest electronegative nature in their respective periods. So generally they will form ionic compounds only. But as we are going down in the group, it means that MF, MCl, MBr, where M is the monovalent metals, we will see that the covalent nature is increasing and the ionic nature is decreasing out. Ionic character decreasing out. Okay, it is decreasing, while we will see that the covalent nature is increasing. Okay, the covalent nature increasing here. Next, how halogens react with halogens. The last is the halogens reactivity towards halogens. Towards halogens. So halogens generally form single halides with other halogens. Okay, monohalides, trihalides, penthalides. Okay, they can form monohalides, trihalides, penthalides, and hepthalides with other halogen atoms. So these are the types of halogen compounds, which can be formed out by one halogen with the other halogen atom. So for today, we are concluding our class here only. We have seen all the chemical properties and physical properties of the all the elements of the halogen. From the next class, in the next class, I am going to start the chemistry of the halogens separately. That is, we will talk about chlorine and their compounds. We will talk about the chlorine. Then we will talk about the bromine. Okay, bromine and their compounds. Also we will talk about the oxo acids and of the compounds which are formed with the chlorine, bromine and iodine. Okay, so for today I am concluding the class here only, and in the next class we will conclude the all the elements individually and their compounds also. And the main important thing is that only chlorine's compound we have to study, not all other compounds for the other elements also of the group 17. So thank you for today. We will start the compounds of chlorine in the next class. Thank you.